Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to do an Oscars post-mortem. It's actually kind of embarrassing. A lot of movies that they thought were going to take home a bunch of awards, like Emilia Pérez, did not.
Yep.
Wicked did not. But actually what won were indies, including Flow, which is a $3 million animated movie, and it beat both Disney and DreamWorks.
I think it's because people that were voting wanted to send a message. They're tired of the mandates. They're tired of the studios constantly dictating everything, and let's go see some more independents do some stuff.
I think that's exactly it, because there was a rumor that this was going to happen. We did a video the other day, and a lot of people watched that one, talking about the Oscars jumping the shark, and they were saying that some of the voters were not going to vote for the movies that were put in front of them just because of DEI. And we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about a little bit later about Reagan. I guess the writer slammed the Oscars because Reagan was not eligible to be nominated because Reagan too white.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I think a movie should be eligible to be nominated no matter what the makeup of your cast and crew are.
Right. Was that Oscar? It was Oscars so white. Was that the hashtag? I thought it was Oscars too white. So it's Reagan, hashtag Reagan so white.
Yeah, apparently.
Anyway, and all I can see is Dennis Quaid with Ronald Reagan hair.
Yeah, pretty much.
So let's talk about all this. We're going to talk about Hollywood and Hollywood trimming the fat. And speaking of trimming the fat, we do have a sponsor for this video, so stick around. So we have a sponsor for this video, guys, and I know if you're like me, you probably think a lot about your weight. As you get older, especially, right? You don't burn off calories as fast as you used to. It's harder to maintain your weight, but this might be a solution for you. Check this out from the Joe Rogan Show.
Okay, so this is a GLP-1 glucagon-like peptide. A guy down in South America who was looking at Gila monsters, and he realized they don't have to eat very often. I wonder if they're hungry all the time or not. Turns out it takes their blood, isolates a peptide, which turns out to be GLP-1, puts it into other animals, and realizes it suppresses appetite. Turns out humans make GLP-1. GLP-1 is stimulated by certain other compounds, plant compounds, stimulate its release. But what does it do in the hypothalamus? It suppresses hunger by way of, there's a particular brain arcuate pathway, but it also affects the mechanosensors of the gut so that you feel like your gut's full.
All right, so GLP-1 is basically a hot buzzword of the last couple of years. You've heard about it, Ozempic, Wegovy, I can't pronounce these, Mounjaro, all of these shots, right? These synthetic GLP-1 medications people are taking, they're injecting themselves with it for weight loss. Dr. Andrew Huberman, who's a neuroscientist and a popular health expert, says that our bodies can actually produce GLP-1 naturally if given the right stimulation. So you don't have to inject yourself, right? You can inject yourself with Ozempic and all those other shots, or you can go about the natural way, which I would prefer. Now, Black Forest, a longtime sponsor of this show, and their scientists have developed this 5-in-1 natural GLP-1 booster. Unlike Ozempic, this GLP-1 booster supports weight loss without affecting bone density or causing muscle loss. That's a concern I've had about these shots. I've been reading about it, and it's like, It uses natural ingredients like green tea extract and cayenne pepper, which stimulate GLP-1 in your gut and bloodstream. It helps with hunger spikes, makes you feel fuller longer, and helps boost metabolism, all leading to better weight management without the nasty side effects of those injections. This pill is designed to help your body naturally boost GLP-1 levels on their own. Right now, if you buy 2 bottles, you get 2 free. Just go to blackforestsupplements.com/clownfish. This is an amazing offer. So if you want to naturally boost your GLP levels, check out Black Forest. Check them out right now. Thank you so much, Black Forest, for sponsoring this video. Again, that's blackforestsupplements.com/clownfish. Let's get back into the topic of this video. All right, we're back, guys. Thank you very much for that. And, if you're looking to get more pop culture news, views, and rants, please consider subscribing to the channel. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
And go out to our Substack if you're missing notifications. I know a lot of people are missing notifications. That's a YouTube thing. I don't know what's up with that, but go out to clownfishtv.substack.com. And there we go. There we go. All right. So let's talk about the Oscars. Didn't watch them.
Didn't care. Don't care.
No, don't care. I guess there was a Joker 2 joke, though. I guess Conan O'Brien made a very kind of an ill-conceived Joker 2 joke that people were talking about. But the biggest takeaway of looking, because I was caught off guard because I didn't know who won last night because I wasn't paying attention. But the biggest takeaway was that, it was all about indies. There were a lot of indies that were winning big, and the movies they thought had it in the bag did not. They thought for sure that penis to vagina, vagina to penis movie was going to take home all the gold. And they kind of got locked out. There were, I think we had, Zoe Saldana got Best Actress or something. I know
she got something, yeah.
And
then they were mad at her because she didn't put enough attention on the backlash that happened with the movie and instead was thanking people, but she didn't do enough to promote awareness.
Oh, God, they're always mad at her. They're mad at her because she was defending Chris Pratt. They're always mad at her, but yeah, they thought this one was gonna take it all home. And same with Wicked. I think they got Best Costume Design or Set Design or something,
really?
And that was it. And they thought that Wicked, everybody was like, Wicked's going to be the big winner. Wicked is going to win everything this year. It's the bestest movie ever. And I'm not saying it's a bad movie. Actually, I watched a little bit of it with Pinky Boo. And I'm like, yeah, it's not bad. I'll check it out when I've got 3 extra hours to kill. But it wasn't a sure thing. Instead, it was a bunch of other movies, including this one, which is absolutely shocking. I did know about Flow. Have you seen the trailer?
No.
For Flow?
It's sad.
I don't think it's sad.
It's not a sad cat. If it's a sad cat movie, I don't want to know.
Well, it looks very Ghibli-esque. And we got cats and dogs and capybaras. And so the amazing thing about this movie, and I saw the trailer before, but it was made with Blender. It only cost $3.6 million US to make this movie, and it just won an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, and it beat out Disney and it beat out DreamWorks, and both of those movies were $200 million movies.
Yeah, but you can tell it's made in Blender. That's what I don't get. But I mean, if nothing else, I mean, it looks cool, but it doesn't. It's not as well animated as The Wild Robot or something like that. But I think it's just about. Well, that's pretty cool though. I think it's just about sending a message.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, I'm not saying the movie's not quality. I need to watch it. I was aware of it.
I know it's true, but this thing you could tell by looking at the trailer that it was done in Blender.
It clearly does not have the budget of an Inside Out or Wild Robot, but it also doesn't have I guess any voice actors, so you don't have to pay them. It's just it's crazy though that a guy with Blender can make a movie for under $4 million that beats out Inside Out 2 and The Wild Robot. Mm-hmm. And I think you're right.
I think a lot of it is though, because I'm not saying this isn't a good movie. I have to see it, but I think a lot of it too is because people were trying to send a message.
So I want to put this out there because hashtag Clownfish was right. We have been saying for about 3 years now, that independent animation, lower budget independent animation done outside of the Hollywood studio system is the future of the art form. And since we started saying that, we got backlash at first, and we still have some people that are a little slow on the uptick that, as of a couple of months ago, said that we were lying about that. But since then, we've had, Has Been Hotel picked up, we've had Digital Circus picked up, and now we've got a $3 million movie winning Best Animated Feature.
And the person that did it's the youngest winner, 30 years old, the youngest winner in the category's history.
That's insane. Yeah. Gintz, I can't even pronounce his name. Gintz Zalbalobdis. Yeah. Crafted by a 20-person team. 20 people on a $3.6 million budget using Blender. So 20 people compared to 200 people. And here in the US, they'd all be union. They'd all cost $6 figures. They have to pay, we'll talk more about animation later. We have another
$180 million movie or whatever, $200 million movie, and that bomb's looking at you, Wish.
Yeah. Right. So I think what we're going to see going forward is we're going to have this after we had a decade plus of just lavish expense, these ridiculously expensive movies and TV shows and animated features, whatever. Now we're going to see, out of necessity, everything contract. It's going to be done cheaper, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be low quality just because it's done cheaper.
Well,
right?
It's interesting to me. Yeah, I said Disney held the 15 previous wins. And then there were a couple wins in there for Shrek and Wallace and Gromit. But so over the last 17, 18 years, the only people who are winning are the same couple people. So it's interesting. And there was times I think Klaus, which was another independent one, should have won, and it didn't. Over was it Toy Story? Was whatever that one was for?
Toy Story 4. Yeah, that was ridiculous because Klaus was clearly the best animated feature of that year, and they gave it to Disney because it was Disney. Honestly, they're just oh, Toy Story. Klaus was amazing. Klaus, actually, they had new technology they were using. They made 2D animation look like, or 3D animation look like 2D animation, or vice versa. I don't know. It was a great mashup.
3D looked like 2D. It was amazing.
It was amazing. It was great, and it had Disney vets working on it, and it was a great movie. And
it should have won.
It should have.
It didn't. So I think what's going on is it's a major upset. No, I think it's because I think people are starting to fight back because I think they're mad at Disney too because they're part of the strike issue and all that. So they're mad about that. I think they're just trying to send a message. And we talked about that yesterday. They said they weren't going to vote for a lot of stuff for the DEI issues because they wanted to send a message. I think basically if it was big studios who thought they were a shoo-in because of whatever reason, they're like, no, we're not voting for you.
Yeah. So we had Best Picture's Anora, which I've never heard of that movie before.
I knew it. I heard people were talking about it, but yeah.
But it swept 5 awards, and this is what they thought Emilia Pérez, Penis to Vagina. See, I don't even know what the movie was called.
Emilia Pérez story is even called. I don't even know what it's about.
I just called it Penis to Vagina. So anytime I look for something on Emilia Pérez, I just look for Penis to Vagina movie.
I don't even know. I didn't even know or care. I just know people were mad about it, and then there was someone made some anti comments, and everybody was mad about it. Didn't care, didn't pay attention, didn't watch it.
So, look at this again. Best documentary, No Other Land, Antipode film. I have no idea. Palestinian-Israeli collaboration.
Oh, that's interesting.
Won over Disney Plus's Music by John Williams, a rare indie doc triumph. Best supporting actor, Kieran Culkin. Best actor Adrian Brody, edging out Timothy Chalamet, Chalamet's become I guess he's kind of the new Johnny Depp, right? He's in everything.
He's trying to be, yeah.
Biggest snubs, Emilia Pérez, 13 nominations, flopped, losing Best International Feature to Brazil's I'm Still Here after losing awards momentum late in the season, which could be too, because there was some backlash because of whatever this actress, stupid stuff she said.
I don't know if it was that person or somebody that was working on it. I don't even follow the story.
It was the one actress that was on it.
There was something said that was a problem.
But I think the bigger takeaway here is that I think a lot of voters, and I'm not saying it's every voter's motivation, but I think they got tired of the DEI stuff. They got tired of the mandates, the corporate mandates, from the studios, and then the mandates from the Oscars that you were not allowed to nominate a potentially deserving movie because of these ridiculous DEI guidelines.
What a weird photo to put on an Oscars or over.
Yeah, I thought that was Nick Cage at first, actually.
No, it has nothing to do with it, but
not.
yeah.
Yeah, so Demi Moore lost. Whoops. Anyway, so talk about that, the DEI thing. Apparently, the writer of Reagan is slamming the DEI rules, which excluded it from Best Picture. So I know people who've seen it said it was pretty good, I guess, if you like Reagan. If you don't like Reagan, you probably don't think it's very good. But they said there are 323 feature films eligible for the Oscars this year. This coming from World of Real. Though only 36% of them, 116, were not eligible for consideration. So over a third of the movies were not eligible for Best Picture because of the DEI standards.
Mm-hmm. The RAISE, representation and inclusion standard.
Oh my God. Second year now. One of the ineligible films was Reagan, the biopic of Ronald Reagan starring Dennis Quaid, and all I can see is Dennis Quaid.
Mm-hmm.
So according to the screenwriter, it did not receive any Oscar consideration whatsoever because it did not meet the DEI standards. He said, I think the situation speaks for itself. There's really there's not really anger and indignation among those of us who made the film. We didn't seriously expect to be nominated for anything by Hollywood in this cultural climate. It's just sad, really. He continued, what has become of the magnificent dream factory that was once Hollywood? Once upon a time, it spoke to the heart and dreams of pretty much everybody, and the leaders and luminaries of the 20th century in industry intuitively seemed to get the middle of the country as well as the cultural elite. That's true. We used to make movies for everybody, and there were more highbrow movies. There were more art house films, but the movies that really withstood the test of time were the movies that resonated with everybody on some level, right?
Well, they go on here saying about they said about these new rules. Many previous winners would never have been recognized.
Yeah.
And as much as I'm against these Academy rules, I don't know if this is the person that's writing the article or whatever. A good movie is a good movie, as they say, but how hard must it actually be not to make the cut? Because Enora was practically all white, but it was eligible due to off-camera hires.
Yeah, so I mean, it's weird what the criteria is, and here's the thing too. Like, they can just tell, like, we don't like your movie. I mean, just say it, right? We don't like your movie because it's about Ronald Reagan. And even though he was one of us, he's not one of us, and we don't want to celebrate Ronald Reagan unless it's, taking a steaming dump on Ronald Reagan. But now they can just use the excuse like, yeah, it's just not diverse enough. Yeah, at least they're telling you to your face. We had to figure it out in publishing that was the issue with our stuff.
They were all on board, so they got a picture of us, and they're like, oh wait, Neon's not black?
Yeah, right. They thought that was Kneon.
Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah. So, what I'm saying, at least they're telling you to your face. I don't expect this to last. I really don't. I think that, given the cultural zeitgeist right now, that everybody's walking back DEI, I think they're going to drop this probably within a year or two. I think, especially after this, I have to wonder if this isn't going to be like, yeah, hey, guess what? Penis to Vagina movie didn't win, and this $3 million cat movie beat Disney and DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Want to keep it up? You want to play? We'll play. Yeah. Yeah.
I just hope it pushes. I hope it spurs on more independent, so we get some new ideas, some fresh content, especially with animation. We push the boundaries, and we have some independents go out and try to do some things too now. And it might mean that those of you in animation, we said before about doing your own thing and starting your own studio, and you're like, well, it's really hard and there's no money for that. Well, there might be money for that now.
Yeah, if you can make an Academy Award winning animated movie for under $4 million, that's like, in the current studio system, like just a couple of episodes of an animated series would run you that much money.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I mean, this opens, I think Hollywood and people that with the money might see this, and it might open some doors.
Yeah. So this is good. And
you're welcome.
You're You're welcome. Yeah. And it was done. Yeah. It was done overseas. So you don't have to work within the Hollywood system. I think that's, I think it was Lithuania or something?
Yeah.
Latvia.
Latvia. Okay. I thought it was okay. It was something with the L.
Yeah.
But again, like I'm saying, we said before, if you want to do your own thing, you can. And those people were like, no, we can't. It's too expensive. Well, now you can.
Now you can. Now there's no excuse, right?
Right. No excuses.
So we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.